Pincus here with ICE Training. This is my first look at a Caracal F. I'm here in Brescia. I'm in northern Italy working with combat-focused shooting instructor Alessandro Padovani. We've got a 3-day course going, and some of the municipal police have been issued the Caracal. Now, these are approved for import into the United States, apparently. I haven't seen one yet, certainly haven't seen any come through classes. There have been 2 in this class. This is the Caracal F. This happens to be chambered in 9x21. Now, in Italy, people are not allowed to own, nor are local police allowed to use military chambered, the NATO 9x19 9mm Parabellum. Essentially, they're the same round though. So this 9x21 is what a lot of sport shooters use, as well as people interested in personal or home defense and the local police. There are 2 of these in the class. I've seen 0 malfunctions from them. It's a striker-fired design. It's got a grip that's very high and deep, close to the bore line, kind of like an XD would be in this same kind of family. One oddity, as you can see, the rear sight is actually machined into the slide forward of the ejection port. I don't know how much of a difference that's really going to make. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, or if it's just a gimmicky thing. Of course, the first thing we're going to think about is emergency manipulations, one-handed reloads. Because we're working on defensive shooting, counter-ambush, worst-case scenario shooting here in this class, this afternoon we were actually doing one-handed reloads, and they have thought ahead. Now, as I understand, there were German engineers involved with the design of this gun. It's being manufactured and backed by the United Arab Emirates, specifically the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. And it's got a block on the back with a small ridge that does allow the slide to be hooked for manipulations on the holster, on the belt, whatever it may be. So that first initial concern I had about this is taken care of there on that end. One of the couple of things I do like, one of them is the slide lock lever. Unlike a typical firearm where that is rounded to the bottom so that it's actually hard to push up on, it's a slide lock lever. The #1 reason we use this in emergency manipulations for counter-ambush shooting is to lock the gun open when we need to strip a magazine out. We want that to be easy to push up on. And on this Caracal F, as you can see there, it really does stick out pretty well. It's got a lot of space where we can push up on it. So I see that as a significant advantage. One of the other things that's interesting, of course, this gun is empty. I'm going to disassemble it. Inside here, you can see, you get a close-up there, unlike many of the striker-fired guns which have a plunger which gets pushed up into the slide, this has a device that blocks the movement of the striker forward, that pushes out of the way to the side when leverage comes in against that ramp. It's very, very light. It's much lighter than a lot of the plungers that actually get pushed up into the gun. So I'm really interested in how that's going to affect the trigger. Now, I have fired this a few times, and it seems like it's much lighter than the normal 5 to 6 pound trigger we see in the striker-fired guns. It may be more 4, it may be more 3, but one thing I'll tell you is that it felt very smooth. So I think that this design, which is obviously something different and unique, might also be a significant positive. Now, it reassembles just like many of the striker-fired guns do. I'm going to go ahead and fire it a little bit. Of course, this is me shooting it on this day. We fired it a little bit before. I can tell you that having watched about 1,000 rounds go down range out of each gun, it's performed very, very well. The Caracal F, if you get a chance to shoot one, do that. I'm certainly going to think about adding one of these to my collection when I get the opportunity.